only way to do it. The only way to do it is to have an open-ended time frame where you could just, until this fucking thing is resolved or until we all give up, you guys can talk.
Was Dick Fosbury fair?
Who's Dick Fosbury?
The high jump guy from '68 in Mexico City.
I don't know. What happened?
Oh, he figured out you had to go backwards over the bar rather than scissoring it.
Oh, he's the first guy to figure that out?
Yeah.
Oh, no kidding.
Right.
Oh, that's a pretty fucking bold move,
It was
right?
a bold move. Or like
the
you enter a catamaran in the America's Cup.
Did they have the same big pad?
Yeah.
So they had the same big pad before, and they were just landing on it like that. Oh, wow. That's crazy.
Right?
Whoa. That's insane. That's how they used to do it?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Right. So zero-day exploit.
Did you know this? Did you know that? I feel like I knew this.
I
and
knew
I'm
about
just
the
remembering.
Fosbury jump because I've heard of that, but I didn't know how they did it before. I never
No
looked.
shit.
See,
That's
at the same
incredible.
Olympics, you have Bob Beamon jumping, like, 2 feet farther than any humans. Like, probably the greatest single athletic performance of the 20th century happens there. But zero-day exploits are really interesting. Another one was the Bombay International Table Tennis Championship. And the weakest player on the Japanese team was a guy, I'm going to get the name wrong here. Jamie, keep me honest, Hiroji Satoge. He shows up in Bombay, and he's like the worst player. And he's got the secret paddle case, and he unzips it, and he's got rubber glued to both sides of the sandpaper bat that everybody else is using. Oh. And he dominates everybody. And you'd think because the rubber grips and spins, but I think it's actually that everyone was cued to the sound. And this deadened the sound. And suddenly, nobody could play against him. And so he's like Iron Man.
Right, they're thinking. They have another thing that they're thinking about now. Like, why does it sound
They
like
don't even know that. Right?
Interesting.
Okay, Hiroji Sato's controversial...
Thick sponge bat that caused a revolution in table tennis. But also, wouldn't it slow the ball down because of the softness of it?
I would imagine it would
So
give
that
you
would
more
change
control.
It seems like it would do both of those things. Maybe it would slow the ball down a little bit because it's got a little bit of smush to it. And I think that would almost be like a change-up in like a pitching situation where someone's throwing a ball, you're expecting it to be 90 miles an hour, instead it's 60. And you're like, motherfucker, like you're off, right? Because you have to be so ready to go. And it's slower than it should be, so it's fucking with your computer.
And I think the Chinese came up with the loop in table tennis. I believe that in beach volleyball, the jumping serve where you go airborne and then you hit. These discrete technical changes. Well, let's take the one with Steph Curry. I wish I could remember who this was. Somebody in your audience will know. There was an old style top basketball player was being interviewed. What do you think of this guy, Steph Curry, and what's happening in the game? And he said something that was so beautiful, I can't tell you. Something to the effect of, I don't know what game that is. He said, I used to play in the paint, and we were all, we're going at it and elbowing and trying to get position. This guy's a million miles away from the basket, and he's just nothing but net. He said, that's not basketball to me. Like, he just didn't recognize what the thing had become.
Oh, that's so weird.
And so I think these zero-day exploits, and just taking back to get to the UFOs, because we have crazy stuff, the neutron is a zero-day exploit. It's the Fosbury flop of physics. Same for the semiconductor. And we have stagnated for so long that people in our government aren't watching people like me and saying, what's going on, Eric? Anything new? And what are you working on? Because anybody who comes up with a new thing can change the entire balance of power on planet Earth.
How far away are we from new things? And have new things been...
Can't ask me that, because I have a different view than every other person. I want to get back to
I'm going to ask you.
Let's do that at
Don't
the
tell
end.
me what I can ask you. No, I'm asking you that, bro.
Okay.
Go ahead. Keep going. We'll get back to me asking you that.
Yeah, you can ask me at the end. But,
Okay.
but I want to do the stuff that's controversial, but is like everybody should have to agree to it.
Okay. Let's go.
So what I wanted to know was why during the 1950s did something happen that resulted in a 70-year stagnation in a field called quantum gravity? Quantum gravity is like a startup that cannot ship a product after 70 years. And it's still taken over in theoretical physics as sort of the prestige theory field.
And quantum gravity, is there an application for this that they were attempting to achieve?
No, it's not a precursor to technology so far as we know. But what happened was you probably have some dim memory of something. By the way, these shooting stars in your ceiling are just
Yeah, you got to
amazing.
be warned.
I know.
Otherwise, you're like, oh.
Quantum gravity is the replacement of something is a replacement for something that used to be known as the unified field. So Einstein wasn't chasing quantum gravity. He was chasing unified field theory.